Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very good evening to all of you. Okay, I hope you all are fine. So, let's just start today's lesson. So, we are studying how to talk to anyone, and we are on the page of 56. Right. So, the chapter number 9, the trick number 9, how to make sure you don't miss a single beat. Okay. Is this true? Are we here? Right, I think that's true. Yes. You have seen professional skiing on television? The athlete at the top of the piste, every muscle primed and poised, waiting for the gun to propel him to ultimate victory. Look deeply into his eyes and you will see he's having an out-of-body experience. In his mind's eye, the skier is swooshing down the slope, zapping back and forth between the poles, and sliding across the finish line in faster time than the world thought possible. The athlete is visualizing, okay? So all athletes do it. Divers, runners, jumpers, javelin throwers, lugers, swimmers, skaters, acrobats, they visualize their magic before performing it. They see their own bodies bending, twisting, flipping, or flying through the air. They hear the sound of the wind, the splash in the water, the whir of the javelin, the thud of its landing. They smell the grass, the cement, the pool, the dust. Before they move a muscle, professional athletes watch the whole movie, which of course ends in their own victory. Sports psychologists tell us visualization is not just for top-level competitive athletes. Studies show mental rehearsal helps weakened athletes sharpen their golf, their tennis, their running, whatever their favorite activity. Experts agree if you see the pictures, hear the sounds, and feel the movements of your body in your mind before you do the activity, the effect is powerful. 26 Mile on my mattress. Psychological mumbo jumbo? Absolutely not. My friend Richard runs marathons. Once, several years ago, scant 3 weeks before the big New York marathon, an out-of-control car crashed into Richards and he was taken to the hospital. He was not badly injured. Nevertheless, his friend felt sorry for him because being laid up 2 weeks in bed would naturally knock him out of the big event. What a surprise when on the crisp November marathon morning in Central Park, Richard showed up in his little shorts and big running shoes. Richard, are you crazy? You are in no shape to run. You have been in the bed these past few weeks. We all cried out. My body may have been in bed, he replied, but I have been running. What? We asked in unison. Unison means ek saath. Yep, every day 26 miles, 385 yards, right there on my mattress. Richard explained that in his imagination he saw himself traversing every step of the course. He saw the sights, heard the sounds, and felt the twitching movements in his muscles. He visualized himself racing in the marathon. Richard didn't do as well as he had the year before, but the miracle is he finished the marathon without injury, without excessive fatigue, thanks to his visualization. It works in just about any endeavor you apply it to, including being a terrific communicator. Visualization works best when you feel totally relaxed. Only when you have a calm state of mind can you get clear, vivid image. Do your visualization in the quiet of your home or car before leaving for the party, the convention, or the big deal meeting. See it all in your mind's eye ahead of time. You now have the skill necessary to get you started on the right foot with any new person in your life. Think of yourself. Okay, technique number 9. Watch the scene before you make the scene. So rehearse being the super somebody you want to be ahead of time. See yourself walking around with hang by your teeth posture, shaking hand, smiling the flooding smile, and making sticky eyes. Hear yourself chatting comfortably with everyone. Feel the pleasure of knowing you are in the peak form, and everyone is gravitating toward you. Visualize yourself a super somebody. Then it all happens automatically. The first moments like a rocket taking off, when the folks at Cape Kennedy aim at spacecraft for the moon, a mistake in the millionth of a degree at the beginning, when the craft is still on the ground, means missing the moon by thousands of miles. Likewise, a tiny body language blooper at the outset of a relationship may mean you will never make a hit with that person. But with the flooding smile, sticky eyes, epoxy eyes, hang by your teeth, the big baby pivot, hello old friend, limit the fidget, Hans's horse sense, and watch the scene before you make the scene, you will be right on course to get whatever you eventually want from anybody, but be it business, friendship, or love. We now move from the silent world to the spoken world. Okay, so this is part 2. So in the part 1, we have discussed about the things which have the which is related to your posture, gesture, right? Now, so this was silent things, and now we are moving to the words, right? So how to know what to say after you say hi. Just as the first glimpse should please their eyes, your first words should delight their ears. Your tongue is a welcome mat embossed with either welcome or go away. To make your conversation partner feel welcome, you must master small talk. Small talk. Can you hear the shudder? Those two little words drive a stake into the hearts of some otherwise fearless and undaunted souls. Invite them to a party where they don't know anyone, and it mainlines queasiness into their veins. Okay, let's see the word. It's dictionary time. Okay. So it mainline and queasiness. Vein is nus. So what is this? Mainline means mainline, inject into the vein. Mainline.
Mainline. Mainline.
Okay, mainline. And queasiness. What is this? Q-U-E. Badhazmi.
Queasiness.
Okay, queasiness. So and it mainlines queasiness into their veins. ठीक है, यानी उनके नसों में बदहज़मी दाखिल कर देती है. If this sounds familiar, take consolation from the fact that the brighter the individual, the more he or she detests small talk. When consulting from Fortune 500 companies, I was astounded. Top executives completely comfortable making big talk with their boards of directors or addressing their stockholders confessed they felt like little lost children at parties where the prater was less than prodigious. So prater and prodigious. Okay, why it is not being seen? Okay, so prater is पेट का हल्का आदमी. Prater was less than prodigious. पुरजोश तकरीर करने वाला. And prodigious शुगुन निहायत गैर मामूली. ठीक है. Okay, so at parties where the prater was less than prodigious. Small talk haters take further consolation from the fact that you are in star-studded company. Fear of small talk and stage fright are the same thing. The butterflies you feel in your stomach when you are in a room full of strangers flutters around the tummies of top performers. Pablo Castles complained of lifelong stage fright. Carly Simon curtailed live performances because of it. A friend of mine who worked with Neil Diamond said he insisted the word to Song Sung Blue, a tune he had been crooning for 40 years, be displayed on teleprompter, lest fear freeze him into forgetfulness. Is small talk a phobia curable? Curable means matlab قابل علاج. Scientists say a communications fear may be treatable with drugs. They are already experimenting with Prozac to change people's personalities, but some fear disastrous side effects. The good news is that when human beings think and genuinely feel certain emotions like confidence that they have specific technique to fall back on, the brain manufactures its own antidotes. If fear and distaste of small talk is the disease, knowing solid technique like the one we explore in this section is the cure. Incidentally, science is beginning to recognize it's not chance or in even upbringing that one person has a belly of butterflies and another doesn't. In our brains, neurons communicate through chemicals called neurotransmitters. Some people have excessive level of neurotransmitters called norepinephrine. Okay, let's see this word.
Norepinephrine.
Okay, so a chemical cousin of adrenaline. For some children, just walking into a kindergarten room makes them want to run and hide under a table. As a thought, I spent thought. What is thought? शराब का घूंट, मीज़ान जमा करना, जोड़, नन्ना बच्चा. As a thought, बच्चे के तौर पर, I spent a lot of time under the table. As a preteen and all girls boarding schools, my legs turned to linguine every time I had to converse with a male. In 8th grade, I once had to invite a boy to our school prom. The entire selection of dancing males lived in the dormitory of our brother school, and I only knew one resident, Eugene. I had met Eugene at summer camp that year before. Mustering all my courage, I decided to call him. So 2 weeks before the dance, I felt the onset of sweaty palms. I put the call off. 1 week before, rapid heartbeats set in. I put the call off. Finally, 3 days before the big bash, breathing became difficult. Time was running out. The critical moment, I rationalized, would be easier if I read from a script. I wrote out the following. Hi, this is Lael. We met at camp last summer, remember? I programmed in a pause where I hoped he would say yes. Well, National Cathedral School's prom is this Saturday night, and I would like you to be my date. I programmed in another pause where I prayed he would say yes. On Thursday before the dance, I could no longer delay the inevitable. I picked up the receiver and dialed, clutching the phone, waiting for Eugene to answer. My eyes followed perspiration droplet rolling down my arm and dripping off my elbow. A small sultry puddle was forming around my feet. Hello? A sexy deep male voice answered the dorm phone. In faster than a speeding bullet voice, like a nervous novice telemarketer, I shout out, Hi, this is Lael. We met at camp last summer, remember? Forgetting to pause for his assent, I raced on. Well, National Cathedral School's prom is this Saturday night, and I would like you to be my date. To my relief and delight, I heard a big, cheerful, "Oh, that's great, I would love to." I exhaled my first normal breath all day. He continued, "I'll pick you up at the girls' dorm at 7:30. I will have a pink carnation for you." Okay. Will that go with your dress? And my name is Donnie. Donnie? Donnie? Who said anything about Donnie? Well, Donnie turned out to be the best date I had that decade. Donnie had buck teeth, a head full of tousled red hair, and communications skills that immediately put me at ease. On Saturday night, Donnie greeted me at the door, carnation in hand and grin on face. He joked deprecatingly. Okay, let's see this word. Okay, deprecatingly. इजहार नापसंदीदगी से मुताल्लिक. So he joked self-deprecatingly about how he was dying to go to the prom. So, knowing it was a case of mistaken identity, he accepted anyway. He told me he was thrilled when the girl with the lovely voice called, and he took full responsibility for tricking me into an invitation. Donnie made me comfortable and confident as we chatted. First, we made a small talk, and then he gradually led me into subject I was interested in. I flipped over Donnie, and he became my very first boyfriend. Donnie instinctively had the small talk skills that we are now going to fashion into technique to help you glide through small talk like a hot knife through butter. When you master them, you will be able to, like Donnie, to melt the heart of everyone you touch. The goal of how to talk to anyone is not, of course, to make you a small talk whiz and stop here. The aim is to make you a dynamic conversationalist and forceful communicator. However, small talk is the first crucial step toward that goal. Okay, how to just a second. Let me see how far there it goes. Okay. Okay, let's do it. How to start great small talk? You have been there. You are introduced to someone at a party or business meeting. You shake hands, your eyes meet, and suddenly your entire body of knowledge dries up, and thought processes come to a screeching halt. You fish for a topic to fill the awkward silence. Failing, your new contact slips away in the direction of cheese try. We want the first word falling from our lips to be sparkling, witty, and insightful. We want our listeners to immediately recognize how riveting we are. Rivet. तवज्जो देना, ठीक है, कितने मुतवज्जे, ठीक है. Okay, so how riveting. Okay, it drove me berserk. Berserk means, what is that? We have read in NCRT books. Pagal, Diwana, yes, Pagal. Berserk. It drove me berserk because most of these same everybody's felt they had to prove it in their first 10 words or less. Several years ago, the Mensa organization, a social group of extremely bright individuals who score in the country's top 2% in intelligence, invited me to be a keynote speaker at their annual convention. Their cocktail party was in full swing in the lobby of the hotel as I arrived. After checking in, I hauled my bags through the horde of happy hour mentions to the elevator. The doors separated and I stepped into an elevator packed with party goers. As we began their journey up to the respective floors, the elevator gave several sleepy jerks. I remarked. In response to the elevator's sluggishness, the elevator seems a little flaky. So flaky. What is flaky? छिलके जैसा बना हुआ, अनोखा, बेतुका. Okay, so elevator seems a little flaky. Suddenly, each elevator occupant, feeling compelled to exhibit his or her 130 plus IQ, pounced forward with a thunderous explanation. It's obviously got a poor rail guide alignment, announced one. The relay contact is not made up, declared another. Suddenly, I felt like grasshopper trapped into a stereo speaker. I couldn't wait to escape the attack of the mental giants. Afterwards, in the solitude of my room, I thought back and reflected that the Manson's answer were indeed interesting. Why then did I have an adverse reaction? I realized it was too much, too soon. I was tired. Their high energy and intensity jarred my sluggish state. Jarred. Okay. So, jar. मुतसादिम होना, ठीक है? धक्का खाना. Sluggish. सुस्त, ठीक है? तो धक्का दे रहा था, इंटेंसिटी उसने धक्का दिया मेरे सुस्त हालत को. You see, small talk is not about facts or words. It's about music, about melody. Small talk is about putting people at ease. It's about making comforting noises together like cat purring, children humming, or groups chanting. You must first match your listener's mood. Like repeating the note on the music teacher's harmonica, top communicators pick up their listener's tone of voice and duplicate it. Instead of jumping in with such intensity, the Mansons could have momentarily matched my lethargic mood by saying, "Yes, it is slow, isn't it?" Had they then prefaced their information with, "Have you ever been curious why an elevator is slow?" I would have responded with a sincere, "Yes, I have." After a moment of equalized energy levels, I would have welcomed their explanation about the rail guard alignment or whatever the heck it was, and friendships might have started. I'm sure you have suffered the aggravation of a mood mismatch. Have you ever been relaxing when some overexcited, hot-breathed colleague starts pounding you with questions? Or the reverse? You're late, rushing to a meeting, when an associate stops you and start lazily narrating a long, languorous story. Languorous means ukta dene wali. Where is that? Languorous. Pika, Natawa or Pika.
Languorous.
Peaky story, okay? Languorous. No matter how interesting the tale, you don't want to hear it now. The first step is starting a conversation without strangling it is to match your listener's mood, if only for a sentence or two. When it comes to small talk, think music, not words. Is your listener adagio or allegio? Match that pace. I call it make a mood match. Adagio or allegio? Allegro. Sorry, adagio or allegro? Okay, what is allegio? Adagio. Okay. Adagio means thema. Okay. Slowly. And allegro.
Allegro.
A brisk and lively tempo. Fast. Okay. And adagio is?
Adagio
Or allegro. So دھیما ہے یا fast ہے. Okay, I think that's enough for today. Yes, okay. Tomorrow inshallah we'll do it. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please subscribe to the channel and share it with others. Please, please, please. We are doing a lot of hard works every day. So yes, it needs to be recognized, and it needs to, like, the benefits of it should be expanded. So that's why I request you to share it with your friends and loved ones. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.